one thing that you've been pursuing, that goal that you have? Why do you keep pursuing it? Did something happen? Did you have an experience in pursuit of this goal that really hooked you in? Let's talk about that briefly in a moment. Welcome to the Balance Blade, where strength, resilience, and leadership sharpen our edge. Together, we are forged in the blade, and we lead with edge. Let's cut through the noise and grow stronger. For most of my professional career, I was a high school band director. And one of the things that I did a lot in that position was I gave motivational speeches. And one of them in particular is actually featured in a video that I did as kind of a promo for that program. And what I said in that video is create that moment that defines when you overcome. And it can be overcoming opposition. It can be overcoming failure. It can be overcoming sickness. In fact, we had people dealing with all of those things. But what I'm going to talk about is the one moment that gets you to keep coming back in whatever it is that you're doing, right? If you're a golfer and maybe one time you got an eagle or a birdie or something difficult in the game, a hole in one, and maybe you're not a very good golfer, but it happened one time and you just kind of try to get that again. It can be as a music performer where you performed in front of a great audience and it was just fantastic and the crowd was receiving what you were doing and there was a synergy there and you just want to keep going for that again. It's striving for perfection. And maybe in that moment you were as close to that perfection that you'll get. I had a college band director. His name was Jay Reese. He recently retired from the University of Miami, but he was there with me at the University of Arizona. And I can remember we were performing a show during my sophomore year of college in the fall of 2001. During my sophomore year of college in the fall of 2001, music by Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And there's a part in one of their songs called Carry On, where it's this big thing, carry on. And it's this big, bold moment. I'll link the show in the description below. And the band, quite frankly, hadn't been doing that well. We were a little bit weak. We were young. A lot of great seniors had graduated. But I remember the way that the director chose to really hype us up was talking about that one moment. Now, I don't know if he was full of it or not. I just remember standing there with my berry sack, squeezing my butt cheeks as hard together as I could and playing as loud as I possibly could to try to support the sound of the group. And I wanted to be a leader and so forth. But the fact is that he taught us, I think, in that situation to find a moment, to find a singular moment, something that we can overcome. But there's a psychology behind this too. If you think about the hook in a song, right, that chorus, that part that you leave singing, we remember experiences based on their most intense moment and their ending. And when I talk about my half marathon, that's very much the case. And if you think about watching your favorite team win a championship or even just a very great game, you remember the big moment of the game, remember the home run to take over, and then you remember the very end. This is called the peak end rule. And that is by a person named Daniel Kahneman. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but I will post in the description below. The brain filters out the struggle and remembers the moment of triumph. And I talked about the personal moments with me with the college marching band and with running the marathon. But there's a couple other situations that you can think of too. Spending time with your family, right? We remember the good times. We remember the best times with that. Being a parent, having kids, even if it's a relationship, think about why do people go back and keep going back to broken relationships? Because they remember those good moments. And of course, there isn't an ending there. But to reframe this in a positive sense, and kind of here's what I want to leave you with. In whatever it is that you want to do, find that one moment, that breakthrough, that connection, wherever you're trying to be, whatever you're trying to become, and reflect on that. What's the hook? What are you going to walk away repeating in your mind, singing out loud. Just find your moment. Keep on coming back. And until next time, stay sharp.